In this video, I just want to do another example with multiplying. And this time if you have something cubed. So we've seen squares and things, but how do you deal with something cubed? So maybe we're trying to multiply 2x plus 1 cubed. Now I will note that there is a formula that you can use. So you can reference your text, or you can reference online and find that formula as well. But I actually just think it's nice just to multiply it out. But you're welcome to use either strategy. So I'm going to use the multiplying strategy here. For me, if I don't have to memorize extra formulas, that's kind of what I prefer. And I would just write it out 3 times because it's cubed. Now, the only thing is when you're multiplying more than just 2 things, you can't do everything at once. You can only multiply 2 things at a time when you have polynomials. So I'm going to just start with the first 2 and multiply that out. And are you going to use the foiling method here, or are you going to do that double distribution? So I have 2x times 2x, which is going to be 4x squared, and then 2x times 1, which is positive 2x. On the inside, 1 times 2x again, and then 1 times 1. Now, as you're multiplying out, if you have other things to keep multiplying, keep that first part in parentheses. I do recommend cleaning it up though, because it's we can simplify here. So I have 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. And now I'm going to go ahead and multiply it with the next 2 pieces. So I'm going to take everything in the first piece and multiply it with the second. So I have 4x squared times 2x. So let's see, that's going to be 8, and then x cubed. And then 4x squared times 1 is just plus 4x squared. Now I'm going to do the 4x term. So 4x times 2x is going to be 8x squared. And then 4x times 1 is going to be 4x. And then finally, I'll do the 1. 1 times 2x is 2x, and 1 times 1 is 1. Make sure here that you distribute everything, right? So if I have 3 terms here and 2 here, well, 3 times 2 is 6. I should have 6 initial terms when I'm done. And now we're going to combine like terms. So I have a couple squares here, so that will be 12. My x terms, I have 6, and then plus 1. Okay. Let's do one more example just to see another one. Okay. Maybe I have x minus 5 cubed. So again, if you want to use a formula, you're more than welcome. I like to just multiply it out. It's a skill that we already know, so we can just extend it to having 3 terms. Or if you had a 4th here, you could do 4 terms, etc. The big thing to keep in mind when multiplying is you can only multiply 2 factors at a time. So I'm going to start with these 2. X times x is x squared. Then I have a minus 5x, another minus 5x, and a plus 25. I do recommend simplifying before you keep going. It'll make it a little bit easier. Minus 5 and minus 5 is 9, minus 10. And then now again, I'm just going to take my time with multiplying my new polynomials here. So I do x squared times x, which is x cubed. X squared times minus 5, minus 5x squared. Now I do the 10x. Minus 10x times x is minus 10x squared. Minus 10x times minus 5 is positive 50x. 25 times x is 25x. And then 25 times minus 5 is minus 125. My next step is going to be to go ahead and combine like terms. So I have my 2 square terms that are going to go together, minus 15. My x terms, 75x. And we are done. So we can just extend any harder multiplication as we need to. And just remember, you only multiply 2 things at a time, and just to be really careful with that distributing, right? Everything in the first term or in the first group goes to the second group. So if you can take your time, then you can really multiply anything you want, and you can keep extending this process as far as you need to with higher powers.